for those joining us for the first time on this show, my name is MERCY Leko, and welcome to yet another session of the One-on-One with Your Star show that premieres every Saturday at 8 p.m. only on the MERCY Leko Facebook page. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is the MERCY Leko Show. Well, tonight I'm glad to present to you a beautiful, gorgeous, and intelligent lady all the way from Ward, that is in the district in West Nile, and she's an activist, she's an entrepreneur, she is the CEO of NILE Girls Forum, an organization that we shall be talking about tonight in regards to our theme, society and the girl child development. Well, I can see you. Her name is Peace Pimer Monica Umikuru. I can see your line. Good evening, Peace.
Good evening, MERCY. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Well, we're going straight to the point. You can start by telling us who Peace is.
Well, Peace is a soft-spoken girl. She's from Zombo district. She loves to adventure. She loves music, and she loves interacting with new people.
Okay. Well, when we talk about Peace, the founder of NILE Girls Forum, of course, we'd also love to know about NILE Girls Forum.
Okay, so NILE Girls Forum is a girl-led organization that focuses on adolescent girls and young women with emphasis on leadership, sexual reproductive health rights, and skills development. And NILE Girls Forum was started in 2018. That is when we officially registered as a non-governmental organization.
Okay. So that is all we can know about for now.
Yes, for now.
Yeah. So in regards to NILE Girls Forum, it's one of the forums that we've been hearing about here and there. With the name NILE Girls Forum, is it? Am I right to say it is specifically working in the Nile Graben, that is the districts and areas that are bordering the Nile, or it's nationwide?
Okay, so NILE Girls Forum, I can tell you the story behind the name. One, it's because I come from West Nile, and Uganda, the source of the Nile, is one thing that struck me. And the region where I come from is called West Nile. So that's what prompted me to have the name Nile on the organization's name, NILE Girls Forum.
Which areas are you covering? Which areas do you do your activities in?
In the recent past, we have really been doing so much activities in Zombo district, but towards the lockdown, we went to Pakwach district. Last year, we also went to Kwania district. That is a new district from Apache district. We are also in Arua for City Clean Drive, and we look forward to expanding more and further to the other regions. We've also had, once you push harder, we can get to reach out to every district within Uganda and also go global.
Oh, okay, that's so good. Looking at the girl, the fact that you right now specifying your activities on helping the girl child, the areas you've mentioned right now, like for example, Pakwach district, it's hard. I see it as a very hard challenge to actually convince a girl, from given the society she has grown in, where all she knows is she grows up, and if she's lucky enough not to get pregnant before marriage, then she will enter into a marriage and focus on making children and keeping her family intact. How has it been for you to convince such a girl that there is more life ahead of her other than marriage and having children, before marriage and having children, and the best she can get out of her life is by staying in school, yet she has limited resources to actually keep her in school?
Okay, so just like we said, charity begins at home, and child development really starts from home. You'll find that some of the girls are dropping out of school because of the society that they come from, because it is a social norm that it's not advisable for girls to keep in school. So what we are doing as NILE Girls Forum One is to make sure we sensitize the community where these girls come from, start with their parents, because again, it's a girl's going to school, irrespective of it being a mother or a father, again, it's going to be hard. So that is what we are focusing on, role models in society that can advocate for girl child education. A case in point is recently in this COVID-19 times, there was a mother that was actually giving out her daughter for sexual favors. She was indulging in sexual intercourse with different men, and the mother was getting money out of that. So we are against that kind of act, and we urge the community, because this is a collective responsibility.
Yes.
This is a collective responsibility for us all.
Yes. Okay. Well, Peace, that was a good one with the kind of activities you're trying to do for our girls in West Nile region and northern Uganda. Okay, that was a great one in regards to how you're trying to see our girls make it. Well, looking at you and I right now, the confidence that we are exhibiting right now to hold ourselves and represent ourselves out there to the world is not the same confidence a girl like us who has not really gone to school or who hasn't had any education background would exhibit, because there is a difference. She'll always be timid to actually let her thoughts out there, just because she has not been educated, so she's timid. How do you work on helping these girls have their self-esteem at a higher level, regardless of their educational background?
Okay, so under the Nile Girls Forum, there is a program that is called Peer Pals that we are initiating in a few weeks to come. In the recent past, we have been doing school drives and community drives where we advertise and let these girls come and be part of it. But this time around, we're having a Peer Pal sort of academy where we can get to link these girls to mentors and real life heroes they can connect with, so that they are empowered with skills, hand skills, life skills, survival skills. And besides that, we are also encouraging them to be change agents in the community, so that it's just not Peace all the time coming to do the empowerment, so that we have many other kinds of girls out there that can actually be a difference in West Nile, in northern Uganda, and in Uganda as a whole.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's a great initiative that you've taken in trying to get these girls mentored. Okay. You've talked about involving the parents of these girls in helping them stay in school. The truth is, the UPE right now is not that meeting the standards of education that we all want to see our kids in. That's why most people are doing their best to have their kids in private schools. So this parent is having a very humble background. They don't have the money actually to help them keep these children in school. How do you go about them? Like how do you go about that in trying to discuss with the parents?
Yeah, I know one of the things that is really being a challenge is some of these girls, or if not most of them, have the passion to stay in school, but it's because of the barriers that come with some lacking the fees or some lacking scholastic materials. So under the Keep Me in School, Keep a Girl in School program, we are organizing and linking up students with mentors. We are also providing scholastic materials for these girls in hard to reach areas, because that is our focus area. And besides that, we are encouraging girls to take up space in school. When I say taking up space is when there is a vacancy for people to contest for prefects, for example, should stand up and contest. Or if you're someone passionate about sports, you can do soccer. These days there are women who play soccer. And besides that, there is also netball by the She-Cranes, for example. So we encourage these girls to take up their talents as well. And that's what we are doing further, and we hope to expand because currently we have 2 girls that are studying in Kampala through a scholarship that we got. Even currently, there is a scholarship that we have lobbied for that is taking undergraduates. So if there is anyone who is watching me right now and had earlier on applied to study at Makerere University, for example, they can always send a message on our page on Nile Girls Forum, and we are able to link them to some of these scholarships. So that is one way we are trying to keep these girls in school and give them actually a chance to explore more and learn.
Okay. Oh, that's so great. That is so thoughtful of you. Well, we are going to have a little break before we get back and continue with this discussion. Discussion in regards to the society and the girl child development with Peace Umikuru Monica, who is the CEO of Nile Girls Forum. So from where we stopped, Peace, what has been, how much have you captured in your various activities? How can you tell us that you are doing well or you're still lagging behind? How has it been?
One thing I can tell you is entrepreneurship is not an easy journey, and no one will ever say that it's easy. But with persistence and resilience, we can achieve everything. So in the past 2 years or so, Nile Girls has been able to reach to over 1,000 girls in the 3 districts of West Nile and Kampala. And just earlier, like I mentioned, we have 2 girls that are under scholarship in Kampala right now. We have also made about 500 usable sanitary pads, and we have distributed about 250 sanitary pads. And the other thing I can say is that under the achievements, we have also managed to get scholarship for the 2 girls that are currently studying in Kampala. We have also featured in newspapers, the New Vision and the Daily Monitor. And in 2018, I was recognized among the 40 under 40 elite inspirational Ugandans. That is an achievement that I give to Nile Girls Forum. We were also recognized. I was also recognized as a sexual reproductive health advocate by the United Nations Population Fund. That was late last year. So there's really been thank you. There's really been a bunch of achievements as Nile Girls, and we are looking forward to actually get more.
Okay. Wow, that's great. Well, Peace, I also wanted to bring forth this very question that we've been asking so much about the girl child development. Right now, there's so many organizations coming in to advocate for the girl child rights and purpose in the society. There are individuals like you and I that are coming out to see to it that the girl child is a better person tomorrow. Like everywhere, the girl child is being sung, the girl child. But don't we think we are leaving the boy child behind? Because much as we are trying to look at raising the girl child, we are forgetting how the boys will actually treat the girl child that has been groomed by us all. So don't you think we are paying a little lesser attention to the boys than we are doing to the girls? And much as we may educate the girl, raise the girl, keep awareness for the girl child, the boy child may not know how to treat this empowered woman. Don't you think so?
So my response to that question would be, in the capacity of NILE Girls Forum, when we design these programs, under these programs, there is male engagement that is included. So whereby we use the male gender to empower girls. So we have a program whereby we first empower the men too, in order to be changes into the girls' lives. For example,
Yes.
when we had an outreach in Jangukoro sub-county, there was a teacher that was actually making the reusable sanitary pads, which is
Wow.
something that people would look at as a taboo. Why would a guy do that? But
Yeah.
on top of that, I wouldn't say that we are neglecting the other gender, that is the male, because currently you find that the girls are more vulnerable. Out of a bunch of boys, if you put one girl right there, you find that this is the same girl that will drop out of school because she is pregnant. This is the same girl who will drop out of school because she's being kicked out by her parent, probably because they want to have her into child marriage. So you find girls actually deal with so much. We are not saying that the boys or the men do not matter, but currently that is our focus, to have these girls empowered, because they
Yeah.
really are the most vulnerable in the community as much as the guys are.
Okay. All right. That quite cleared the air. Well, looking at the regions in Uganda right now, West Nile and Northern Uganda is definitely leading in the number of teenage pregnancy and early marriage in our teenage girls right now. How have you tried to address that? Because these are girls who most of them are not raped, most of them are not defiled. Okay, most of them are defiled but not really raped. So how have you tried to manage that number of girls that are ending up in teenage marriages and pregnancies that are actually unwanted?
Okay, so one thing is, you cannot talk about girl empowerment and leave the men out of the picture, because in most cases the blame game is being given to the men. Men are being blamed for most of these
Definitely.
things. So the first thing that, for example, if you're reaching out and you're talking about teenage pregnancy, but you're talking to the girls alone, it wouldn't make sense. So we had really need to have more advocacy involving the men, and that is what NILE Girls does. For example, when we were in Panyimur, it was an open discussion where we had all stakeholders involved, and that was inclusive of the boys. Basics of telling them how you should live with girls, because everyone, every man at least, or every boy, I'm sure, has a friend who is a girl, or has a mom who has a sister, or yes. So you find that if we get to talk to the men more about issues of child marriages, and also talk to the girls more, we are going to have these cases reduced. And one other thing is, we are advocating for champions in the community. For example, if Mercy has identified something is wrong, you should speak up. And issues of teenage pregnancies are really on the rise, because some of these girls do not have a sense of belonging, or they do not have a monetary source. And what we do is we're also skilling them and empowering them that they can do some of these things. For example, we are looking at areas where people actually think it is not right for a girl to maybe do welding. So we are encouraging more girls to take up space in that, but we are also encouraging the men to speak up against teenage pregnancies. If you see your neighbor torturing his daughter sexually, why should you keep quiet about it? What are you in the community
Yes.
doing? to curb that vice.
Okay, so that is basically involving everyone in the struggle and not leaving anyone out. Okay. Well, we also want to know, right now, there is one thing that we cannot forego, that is adolescence. We have all been adolescents at one point, and some of us are still going through that adolescent period. So it's something that is beyond our power if not guided. It's not in our power to control ourselves. An adolescent will do something just to be recognized out there, just to seek attention out there, and will not see anything bad about it. It's not until they are guided by someone, it could be a parent, it could be a role model, for them to stay in line. And right now, adolescence is the main reason why our girls are ending up into teenage pregnancy. A case I can talk of Panyumu right now. These are girls who are staying by the lake shores, and the activities there are quite weird. That if you don't have a strict parent, or you don't have a sense of humor, or you don't have a dream in you that you want to explore, you cannot survive teenage pregnancy or early marriage. So adolescence being something that we cannot control, it has to happen in your life. How have you tried to model these girls in that age to focus more on their dreams in future and not fall for what adolescence comes in with?
Yes. So just like I mentioned earlier, we have the mentorship program. But before I go further into that, I should say that adolescence is a normal part of life that we should all be glad. If you went through that stage, just be assured that you're normal. You're a normal human being. So we are getting into intensive mentorship, and we are having sessions where we have one-on-one with these girls. What is it that you're finding as a challenge in the society? Because we understand there is puberty and their body changes, and probably you get that time when you're very excited and you want every boy around to know that peace has arrived. But we are having a one-on-one session with these girls where they get to talk to us and open up about some of these issues. Because if we do not get their story, then we cannot best address the issue.
Yes. Okay, that is a great one. So what happens to the girl who has already messed up her life, and she is maybe married in a toxic family or a toxic relationship, and she wants to come back and pursue her dream of becoming someone? What do you do with such a girl?
Well, there is always a second chance in life, and no girl should be left behind because they have messed up. We have all messed up in one way or another. So what we are doing for these girls is we identify areas where they are comfortable, because you'll find some of these girls are comfortable with going back to school. So we are ready to support these girls all the way to go back to school. Some want to take up businesses, so we help them start businesses that can help them thrive in society.
So that means we are looking far beyond education, but more into institutions to help them elevate their talents. There are those who are good at designs. There are those who are good at plating hair salon issues. There are those who are also good at catering. So we venture them in that.
Exactly. And in addition to the skills that we are giving these girls, we also have financial literacy sessions, because when this girl makes the money from the skill she has acquired, what is she just going to keep having that 50,000, or is she adding value? And if it is a product she's making, what value is she adding to that product so that it's actually selling in the market? So it's beyond just giving her the skill. We are teaching them financial skills and really basically doing much more than just giving them a skill.
Basically, how to handle cash and look to multiply it.
Exactly.
Well, that was a very good discussion between Peace and I on this show, One-on-One with Your Star. And the main issue here is for us to join hands together, regardless of our gender, regardless of our status in the society, and look to it that we are helping the girl child out there. It could be your sister, your daughter, your auntie, your mother. We should help ourselves in seeing that the girl is a better person tomorrow and not looking at how to drag her down. If you can't pull her out, at least don't drag her down. At least leave her where she is. Well, this is a great one. We're going to get back shortly for the last session of this discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet the last session of this discussion with Peace, the CEO of NILE Girls Forum, on our discussion in regards to the society and the girl child development. Well, Peace, can you say something about domestic violence? Because it's nationally reported to be a rampant issue and a crime in West Nile in northern Uganda right now against women especially.
Gender-based violence has really been on the rise in this lockdown, and we have cases that have been reported increasing day by day. And what we are doing to address such challenges is to get these people to actually understand that violence does not solve any situation. And there are toll-free lines that people can actually call in case they have been violated. And under gender-based violence, there are very many sorts of violence, and one of them being sexual gender-based violence. So this is a vice that we are coming up against, and the good thing is we have people who are championing such drive. One of them is the current Archbishop of Church of Uganda. You've been seeing in the news, he has really been speaking so much against the gender-based violence. So at the end of the day, if an issue arises because a partner has not been able to provide, you should instead sit together and come to a common ground, come to a common understanding of how you can always get away with that. But issues concerning domestic violence should not be an issue that people see as a way of resolving differences between them.
Okay, so basically people should look at more ways of mutually understanding each other other than resolving to domestically abusing each other. But the truth is, we know right now in West Nile, most cases are not actually being reported. Many people are silently dying with that, and in the rural areas, actually, they take domestic violence to be a way of disciplining, and some women, in a naive way, take it as a form of showing love to them. When their husbands beat them up, that means the man loves them. It's so funny, but it's quite tragic.
Yes, it's really absurd. And one thing about violence, people, whenever you talk of domestic violence, people always think it's the woman actually beating up the man. And in some cases, it is actually the women who end up beating up the men. And yes, so we are advocating more and empowering people to speak up. We cannot be in a violent relationship.
Thank you, Ms. Pisomikuru, for coming through for this very fruitful discussion, and a special thanks goes to NILE Girls Forum for making sure this day comes to pass, and to everyone who has been online with us throughout this discussion. We are so grateful, and we hope this discussion was educative enough to you and your loved ones, and we hope you'll be here with us next weekend, same time, same page. Have a lovely weekend.